All right. So today, making sure everyone's in the right place, creating community connections and chapter legacy programs is what this session is called. I really appreciate the opportunity to share with you folks. This is my first time at NatCon, and it's been amazing so far. I hope that you folks are having a good time as well. The energy is definitely palpable. And for those of you that are joining us online, if there is anyone, highly recommend if you have a choice to come in the future, attend a NatCon. So I am going to move on. So my name is Lynn Miyauchi. I'm the co-president of Pacific Northwest chapter of JET Alumni, and I was an ALT in Obama Fukui. Together with me is my co-delegate Denise Sawyer, newsletter coordinator. She was an ALT in Izushi, Hyogo, and we're trying to do the divide and conquer method. So she is in another session so that we can cover two bases at one time. So just a quick overview of what this session is going to run like. We're going to give some quick definitions and goals. I'm going to talk about some sample events that PNW JETAA has done to hopefully give you some ideas for things that you can take back to your chapters. And the two samples that I'll be giving is how to run events and create these types of quote unquote legacy events if you have minimal resources, meaning not too many folks in your crew. And then again, if you have more people and can form a group or committee, another style of an event that you can hopefully run. Then we'll open it up for questions and sharing. Hopefully we'll have enough time for that. So in the title, these are three words that I wanted to talk a little bit more about so that we're all on the same page when I use these phrases. So community. Community is really the group that you're working with. And so when I say community, it could refer to alumni, both in or out. So your own members or working with other chapters. When I say JETs, I'm thinking of either prospective JETs, because as we all know, the best advocates for the JET program are the alumni, and also new JETs, because those are groups, these are all groups that we tend to connect with. Also, many of our chapters connect with the Japanese, local Japanese communities and Japanese Americans. When I say domestic and international, I mean across the US or sometimes international. For example, PNW JETAA does hop the border for a couple of our events, a skiing event that we coordinate with JETAA ABC, which is really fun. And then upcoming, we're going to have an event called Iron Chef, which is a Portland event, but we're going to work with Portland and BC, hopefully, and get some international action going on there. Also academia, colleges and universities that our members might be interested in, and businesses, connecting people. So basically any group that you would be connecting with. When I say connections, deep down, we all JETs have this desire to help others. I think that is something true. I've been hearing it over and over again during presentations, and all of us have passion for learning and adventure. So it's only natural that we try to seek out connections in our community. Oops, sorry. Why isn't this working? Is there a tech person here? Whatever. So this is not advancing. Yeah. And my mouse isn't. Wait.
It's not really working.
No, I mean, this is, so there's my mouse, but it's not going anywhere. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The mouse is on the screen.
Sorry.
I'm gonna move this up.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So sometimes if you move this too far, it'll go to that screen.
Okay. So, are you seeing? You guys seeing my notes?
No.
All right. All right. Mouse will become your friend. So these are the types of ways that I see us making connections. So again, I think JETs are innately interested in opportunity to socialize, network. We've heard network before. We want to connect for education, personal education, improving our own skills, our own personal growth. Also, sometimes we want to connect with other groups for a common cause or a goal, or something that's going to be mutually beneficial to all parties involved. So basically, once we've identified the why we want to connect, then we'll be able to decide who to connect with and how to do this. So with that kind of in mind, I want to talk about this last word that I'm using, legacy. Legacy is just our own definition of it. It's maybe not the traditional definition that you might be thinking about, but when I mention legacy, we're thinking about starting to build foundations, that we're going to think forward. How are we going to set these foundations and continue to build up on them? Also, how are we going to pass the torch while still keeping the Senpai Tachi alumni? Because both of those are really important and they can be incorporated into this legacy idea. Because without new groups coming up and without that passing of information and responsibilities, organizations aren't going to be able to survive. And then we want activities and projects and programs to be sustainable and as long lasting as possible. Now, this isn't going to be true for everything that your chapter creates, but I'm specifically focusing on events that our chapter has created with this longevity idea in mind. The reason that we have the longevity is because a lot of times things take time. And so by being able to stretch how many years you can create these events to continue, then you'll start to see positive impact. Okay. So, so the first one that I want to talk about is this is with minimal resources and workforce. And this is an event that PNW JETAA has participated in now for 25 years. It started off as somebody in our group thought, hey, there's this cool group that's trying to raise funds to help support local food banks in our community. And we all know how important food is to life and happiness. I'm sure that all of you remember when you're in Japan, you had cravings for things that necessarily you didn't have in Japan. I had a craving for Snicker bars and I just couldn't find them. So think about it. If you're, recently moved over from another country, or you've decided to come and immigrate to America, you're maybe you're trying your best, but you still need support in a community, and you go to a local food bank, but you're not finding the foods that are familiar or culturally appropriate. And so this particular organization called the Asian Counseling and Referral Service created this event, Walk for Rice. Rice was like their main focus. They're going to provide the sticky rice that a lot of the Asian communities are familiar with, because I'm sorry, Uncle Ben's doesn't cut it when you're trying to make musubi. So not only rice, but each cultural group has things that are familiar to them. And so they try to provide those things in local food banks. And so this is an event that we've been participating in, again, for 25 years. And the beauty of this event is it only takes one person to run this. Just have share a couple pictures here. So this is, again, we're not big scale, but these are some JETs that were our alumni that participated in this. I want to pay close attention. Can you guys still see my mouse? No, okay, never mind. The person in the gray jumpsuit, I wanted to point him out because that was a new departing jet. I'll come back to that. There are a bunch of other people in here. About 90% are alumni, but we had some other people joining us. We also have animals, dogs mostly, that are in there as well. And I don't know if you can see maybe in the next picture, we have children and a wide variety of people in this group. So we try to open it up to as many different people. So we have alumni, we have Fodges, Friends of Jets, we have multi-generation folks participating in this event because it's been going so long. And so Jets are bringing their children or their spouses or their parents. During the pandemic, we were able to still participate. It was virtual. So we kind of opened up the theme of dogs being allowed to whatever animal you want to sign up as a fundraising team member, donate money in their name, and we'll put them on our team. So we ended up with the bird brigade because there was a bird that joined us, the kitty cat corps. Several people had cats that they registered. And then our doggy, our puppy group as well. And so all of these folks were not only registering themselves and making donations, but also in the names of their pets or family or whoever. And then individually, each alumni or each team member then solicited out to their friends, to their families to help raise money. I was the organizer of this, so I only had to spread the word to my team members. Please join. SNS, individual reach outs, calls, then they contacted more people. So instantly you're taking just one person's efforts, spreading out to a small group, that group then expands. Something that's also really cool with a legacy or a long-standing event, chances are jets are everywhere. You never know when those crisscrosses will happen. The guy in the back of the photo with the lei on in the red jacket that's smiling with a mustache, former JET alumni who is now the director for this organization. And so it's kind of cool because not only are we able to say, yeah, JET alumni has been participating in this event for many years, but now we have people in power, positions of power within this organization. So that's also a cool thing that happens. Now, a lot of times I know that when people present or share their chapters activities, people want to know more about how we set it up. So just quick little tips on something that your chapter can try on, again, minimal basis. For me, for our group, it was just me. And then building on that, try to find an event that your group is going to be able to get behind. You're going for a common cause or a common goal. We were able to get behind the mission of Walk for Rice and piggyback on someone else's event. So you don't have to worry about setting it up. They will help you promote because it's their event. So that makes it a little bit easier. Again, you will have to do a little bit legwork. Ask your council or your members to please promote it on SNS and outreach to folks, and then they will spread it out. And then create, because it's someone else's event that you're piggybacking on, add the JETAA specific component. After we do the Walk for Rice, which is about a 2-mile walk, we all get together and we have a social party. We usually go to a local pizzeria down the street, and that's a lot of fun. And of course, you're hungry from walking in the morning, so perfect way to then add a fun component, because that was brought up earlier. Add a fun component if possible to events. And then consider bonus add-ons. How can you even make this more your event, even though it isn't? And the person in the gray suit is a new alumni. Well, will be a new alumni. He's a current JET. This event happens to fall in the same time frame as new JET training. So the alumni post and announce to all the new JETs, hey, come and join this event. The reasons are twofold. They will get a lot of one-on-one time with alumni, because every alumni that's participating in an event, the new JETs will have instant access to at least 10 different alumni that they can talk to, not only during the event, but also at the social. And it's a great chance for the alumni to introduce some of the activities that they do to these new JETs. So hopefully they'll remember that. And when they come back, they're like, yeah, my alumni group did some cool stuff. And a case in point is we had a new JET join this activity. When he came back, he immediately contacted JETAA and then went on to become one of our officers. And so it's kind of a nice way to accomplish not only, supporting an activity, but also kind of recruiting future alumni. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
I just have a question. The work for rights, I know you had mentioned you send it out to members before to get donations
Mhm.
prior to the event. And so
Yes.
forth. So on the day in question, everybody will just prepare to walk the
Yes,
2 mile and we speak to random persons,
exactly.
try and get additional donations on that day.
No,
Right,
it's
that's all.
donations are all done. So sorry, the question was, when we set up this event and we're walking, are we still talking to people to solicit more donations? All of the donations are done online, and they are ideally given before the actual event happens. However, they do keep that donation window open. So if you do meet people, or you still have relatives or friends or coworkers that you want to reach out to, they can continue to donate on the Walk for Rice platform.
On the day, we just walk, having a good time.
Yes, so then the actual event that we're participating in is just a nice walk together, and it's a chance for alumni to just talk to each other. And of course, if there are new JETs in our group, then we kind of bounce them around to the different alumni, similar to what we did earlier with the senpai line and the new returnee line. And so then if the new JETs are smart and they join this event, they have instant access to all of these different alumni and a lot of good one-on-one time. So that's kind of what we did. Thank you for the question. Now, if you are in the position where you do have a committee, or you do have access to a larger group that can help plan an event, this is another example that we wanted to share. And so we pack a lot into this particular event, and it's possible that you don't have enough bandwidth or enough volunteers to include all of these different components. But again, we're just throwing out ideas, and if any of them ring true to what you think your members will need, then absolutely try to maybe incorporate these in an event. So it has a long title, and it's called Transitions, Opportunities Forum, and Networking Expo. It originally began as just a career day for returnees. And so when you get that CLAIR list of the returnees, we would send out a survey, say, what kinds of things are you interested in? What do you need? And that served a purpose, but we wanted to, as a chapter, expand that out even more to serve not only returnees coming back, but also our current members, because you never know where people are in their career tracks. So we wanted to include people that were maybe deciding to go back for higher education, or maybe people that are wanting to just transition their career path, or maybe people for whatever reason now have time that they want to start volunteering in the community. So the way that we broke this down is that we wanted to break it into this opportunities forum and networking expo. Those are two separate activities that are combined together in a day-long event. And something that we do, because I know it's hard to find enough alumni sometime in a chapter who are really super active to help plan this event, this is when we really reach out to the full membership, because as it was said earlier today, maybe some alumni either aren't interested in the events that are being held by the organization. That's fine. We all have different needs and different wants. But if you ask specifically and reach out to an alumni that has a special skill or has a job or a position that might be of use or interest to folks that are coming to your career event, chances are they'll say yes, if you are clear in what you want them to do. Because like I said, all of us want to help and share our knowledge. And so that's a way that we pull them kind of back into the fold. Maybe folks that haven't been active for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. If we are able to contact them and keep them on our list, we'll reach out to them. and then say, hey, we're having this event. Can you represent your industry? Or can you talk about your path or your field? So this is how we break down our event. So the first path is keynote presentations and panel discussions, kind of like what we've been having at NatCon. The networking expo part, we have vendors, which are first and foremost, we hit our alumni. A lot of our alumni are entrepreneurs, or now because this event has been running so long and the Alumni Association is over 35 years old, a lot of our alumni are maybe movers or shakers or higher up at companies that might be of interest. So we'll reach out to them to host tables. We do not charge for tables. We say, hey, we'll give you pitch time where you could talk about your industry or your whatever you're doing, and then also hit them up for being presenters. We offer these particular activities. So the vendor tables, we include university, different employment agencies like the one that we met today. We're going to invite them to our event. Volunteering opportunities, so just community groups. A lot of this is code calling, which is why you do need a committee to help you with something like this. We also provide resume reviews. Chances are within your group, there's going to be people that have worked in HR or are able to lend their eyes to help with resume reviews. Also, somewhere in your group, there's someone that's really good at photography. We offer headshots so that they can use that later for their LinkedIn profile or whatever they need to use it for. And we've also included a component thinking about the future where we do provide a JET information session. Because in the recent past, we've hosted these at educational institutions, perks of working with an educational institution, just like with Middlebury, we give them pitch time, and then we also open up this program to their students. So they can attend a career event that, yes, we warn them it is JET alumni specific, but they're welcome to come to it. And they're also welcome to find out more about the JET program. So for example, this is a picture of one of our booths. Nintendo, very popular. We have alumni there, so we pull them in for that. This is an example of when we're allowing each group to make a pitch. And then they give like a 2-minute elevator pitch so that they have that chance for all the people to hear what they're about, and then kind of target who they want to speak to or who the attendees want to speak to. We ask for raffle prizes, so that makes it a little more fun and exciting. Nintendo is very generous with that. Quick action tips for this kind of event. Really think within your own chapter and establish your own audience, goal, and theme. Again, the samples of the activities we do are P&W JETAA specific. Also try to delegate and find people, either let them team up for a specific task, or if you have enough people, if you don't have enough people, see if they're willing to take on roles of, for example, working with reaching out for people for speakers, working with people who want to be panel members. Somebody also is setting up potential vendors. Collaboration with benefits is something that we like to emphasize when we're trying to get people to join our event. So for example, universities, again, we offer them free promotion. Community groups, we pitch it to them as, hey, participate in our event. We want you to meet our members because our members may become your future members. Or workforce. By workforce, I mean, everybody needs volunteers. So JETAA might be able to do that. For companies, it's like trying to get that word out. Look, we have this amazing group of people that you guys need to tap into that. And so that's another way that we try to entice people to join us. And sister city groups, local Japan related groups. So those are all the kinds of groups that we try to approach and reach out to. I talk about maximizing the forward effect. And by that, I mean trying to figure out, even after the event has taken place, how to not waste all the effort that you've put into creating this great event. Great example right now, they're recording the sessions. So that'll be available for people later on to see who might not have been able to make it. And one other thing that PNW JETAA has created, because of all the years that we've done transitions, is something called JLink. JLink is on our website, and what it is a collection of profiles of our members. And this was originally just created for entrepreneurs. It was a way for people to have free advertising about what they do. But again, we wanted to expand it to any of our members who wanted to talk about their industry, promote the company they're working for, or a group that they're working with. And so the only requirements that we have in order to be listed on our website is the willingness for them to respond if they get any questions. So we ask them to put a little bio and then their contact information. Realistically, they're not bombarded with a lot of questions, yet we have this database. So if folks are coming back and they're like, I'm interested in architecture, and they'll spin through and then maybe find an architect, or hey, I want to be a chiropractor, they can go through this directory. And it's, again, a way that we can continue to keep it on the minds of our membership and the public to continue the event of transitions. So it's just something that's a reminder out there. So we're running close on time. There's 10 minutes. This is where I say thank you. Do you have any questions? Or do you have examples from your chapters for activities that you've done that will maybe be of use or help to other groups? I'll take either. Yes. Yep.
What kind of maintenance?
It's low maintenance. So it is the JLink registrants' responsibility to keep their own information updated. They would contact us if they want that done. And other than that, it's just like a directory that's up there. We do, so then we will go through it. This one is pretty new. So people change jobs and they do things. So we will try to go through it, but yeah, we just kind of leave it up there, and it's not necessarily buyer beware, but if there's a problem, hopefully they will contact us if somebody's trying to reach out to someone, but it's fairly low maintenance.
Really like the legacy slide. There's an event in Ottawa. Summer Festival, which began 16 years ago or so as a very small picnic kind of thing.
Yep.
Together for
Yep.
And it slowly expanded over the
Yes.
into the largest Japanese festival in Ottawa.
Oh, awesome.
Food vendors, just coming to sell things, etc. It did, unfortunately, you have a point saying sustainable and long-lasting, but the feedback for the first
It's hard.
beyond the capability of the executive team. So unfortunately, we chose
To end it.
last year. Personally, distributed that decision a little bit, but understandably, it grow a lot. Luckily, a community.
Yeah.
The Ottawa Japanese Community Association.
Nice.
Once they learned that this had been canceled, they decided to take it on basically. So then it works into the impact on pre-existing events. It's like sometimes you can create something and then kind of hand it off to an organization and take it back.
So then the comment was the longevity. Ottawa had an event that over years grew bigger and bigger and became this amazing event, and then the board decided to stop it. They didn't have bandwidth maybe to continue it. However, luckily, a community group picked it up when they found out that JETAA was not going to handle it again. So great point by Brian, where potentially an event that JETAA creates to continue the legacy can be handed off to another group. And that's a really cool idea to think about. And again, for legacy, long-lasting things, to see that impact, for example, with Walk for Rice, we've been participating so long that we've now probably donated over $15,000 just from our chapter to support that organization and provide food and funding to the work that's done in the community. So that's something that, again, takes time, but it is a great driving reason to keep it going. And maybe you saw this in Ottawa as well, but because people are familiar with seeing it year after year, it becomes something that everyone looks forward to. They're like, oh, it's coming up again. So when you can generate that type of energy, hopefully, again, that'll help sustain it. Anyone else? Yes.
Yeah, yes. I totally agree with all that you presented today, quite informative, and I do believe that we really have to be deliberate in our actions
Yes.
towards ensuring that we remain relevant, and this includes the quite inclusive of other groups and institutions in our activities and joining up wherever and whenever necessary, right? And I just want to point out a few examples of what we try to do in our chapter in Geneva, right? Where there are some other Japanese organizations that from time to time we try to either join their activities or we literally invite them to come and join with us, because we have an organization, Ichiban Society, right? There's also the JICA, the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, as well. Here, from time to time, we do things like voluntary activities together. We join with them and we renovate basic school together, and like they come and they do presentations, or if we have any picnics, we invite them and they come, and we have sharing, all right, and we fellowship with them, and we try to use that to build a set of camaraderie and build a wide network.
Yes.
So that we can, let them see the impact we're having, and they can, further support us. Plus, with the university, right, that we have, we try and invite them to certain of our events, because what happened, a number of the students who are at the university, they are doing the Japanese courses and support, and they aim to join the JET program. And we try and use that, the invitation of them to events, as a way to get to know them as well, so that when they join the program, they're already familiar with us, and we join and then they come back. And they did mention that as well.
Yes.
But, it's still a work in progress, but yes, I know we have to do more of these type of activities as a way so that persons can see us.
Yes.
And see the impact that we're making and reach
Absolutely.
other persons who, have those jokes and they just weren't aware of us, because that it is true. Some of these events we have been able to find persons who, are prior jets, and we are able to get them into the fold.
Exactly.
Well, but and I also like the idea that you mentioned about the walk as well, right? Because I guess if we're all like JETAA, like
We have our banners,
or
yeah.
banners or something like that. And we're going through the city and support, this will bring in even more attention, right? And exposure.
Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out and making that even clearer, because yes, that is another kind of benefit of participating in these community events, is that then people will see JETAA and say, oh, what is this group? Wow, they've been supporting us. And so it's been typed up in the chat. Thank you very much. And so thank you again for bringing up those other ways of collaborating with groups, inviting them to join you or you joining them. That's what it's all about. So we are out of time. But I really appreciate everyone's attendance and your sharing your stories or your questions. Please continue to try to maybe think about creating legacy activities if possible. And yes, thank you very much. Sorry for the glitch at the beginning. And enjoy the rest of the conference.